coming to today's session, I will explain about how primary key values can be generated. How primary key values can be generated in JPA. Today I am going to explain about how primary key values can be generated in JPA. Okay, let's go ahead. We will create a new example for this. And we want to test how the primary key values are generated in JPA. Okay, which means I am explaining today about an annotation called @generated value. Today I am explaining about an annotation called @generated value. This annotation is what we are discussing today. This is the annotation we are discussing today, that is called @generated value. Okay, I will explain. Observe it. So this is concept called as how primary key values are generated. This annotation tells us how primary key values are generated. This is what we are discussing. So there is an annotation called a generated value. Basically, this annotation, whatever we are discussing here today, this annotation @generated value. So basically, this annotation is to define a primary key generation strategy. I repeat once again, my statement I will repeat once again. @generated value annotation. So this annotation is used to specify the primary key generation strategy. Primary key generation strategy. This annotation is to specify the primary key generation strategy. Okay. And this annotation we can only can be used for a primary key attribute. For a primary key attribute means along with @ID annotation. For a primary key attribute. How can you say that it is a primary key attribute? If an attribute contains @ID. If an attribute contains @ID. If an attribute contains @ID, @ID. Okay. If this annotation contains @ID, that attribute is called as what? Primary key attribute, @ID. So means what? @generated value annotation can be used with @ID. Because @ID attribute represents that it is a primary key attribute. So @generated value is to specify the primary key generation strategy. Primary key generation strategy. So coming to JPA has provided 4 primary key generation strategies. Primary key generation strategies. How many? 4 primary key generation strategies are given. One is generation type dot auto. Second one is generation type dot identity. Third one is generation type dot sequence. Generation type dot sequence. Fourth one is generation type dot table. Generation type dot table. So these are the primary key generation strategies. One is generation type dot auto. Second one is generation type dot identity. Third one is generation type dot sequence. Fourth one is generation type dot table. Generation type dot auto is the default value. This is a default. Which is a default? Generation type dot auto. Generation type dot auto. Let us see how we can able to add this. See, actually generation type dot auto means it can use one of the three, remaining one of the three. Persistence provider means our Hibernate. If I set auto, let us Hibernate decide what it want to use. I am setting auto means I am telling the Hibernate, you decide and use it. How Hibernate will decide and use it? It based on data type, database. Based on database, it will decide. If the database supports a sequence, if a database supports sequence type, then Hibernate use generation type sequence. If a database supports identity, nothing but auto increment columns. If a database supports auto increment columns, then it will use generation type dot identity. Generation type dot identity. If a sequence and identity are not supported by some database, it will use table. Auto increment column is not supported in my database. Sequences are not allowed in my database. Then what Hibernate will do? It will take table as a strategy. So means what are the primary key generation strategies are auto, identity, sequence and table. Table. Okay, sequence and table. Auto represents what? This is a default. Auto means if I at the rate generated value and if I'm not passing the strategy, what's the default strategy used by Hibernate? Auto. If I don't write at the rate generated value, for example, I'm not writing that annotation. You see all our last examples so far till yesterday's example, I mean last class example. Am I writing anywhere at the rate generated value? I'm not writing because I want to add or I want to set the primary key value by myself. I want to set the primary key value by myself. I don't want to generate automatically. I don't want to generate them automatically. I want to create my own. I want to set the value by myself. For example, you take author ID, book ID, category ID, product ID, employee number, department number. We have seen a lot of classes, entity classes. In all those entity classes, I am only setting the primary key value. Set category ID of 1010. I am only writing, right? Means I don't want to use the generated value annotation. Means what? I want to set the primary key value by myself. If you want to generate the primary key value of an entity automatically, then you have to use what? You have to use generated value. You are getting my point? Then you have to use what? Generated value. I repeat once again, right? Then you have to use generated value. Right. Let's go ahead. I'll explain you. Let us see examples. Okay, first we'll test with the auto. So then we'll test with the identity, sequence, and table. All these we'll discuss. Once it is completed, then I will tell you how to create your own generator class. That is called custom. Custom in the sense what? These are not suitable for my application requirement. Then what can I do? I can create my own generator class. I can also use my own generator class. That is called what? Custom ID generator class. Custom ID generator class. These are predefined ID generator classes. Means primary key generation strategies. But I can also define my own strategy. That is called custom. Okay, that also we'll discuss. I'll tell you the process. Okay. First, we'll do one thing. We will take up one small example to test all these strategies first. Okay. We will do that. I will explain you first. Let's create a new project. Maven archetype, pick start. Okay. And here I say the project name, ID generation, JPA ID generator. And I want to create an entity class first. I want to create an entity class first. Okay. Let's say Y first here. Generating the project in interactive mode. Y. Build success. Okay. This is my form.xml file. I want to copy. I want to copy one of the examples dependencies first. It's Oracle. Okay, no problem. We'll test with Oracle, then we'll test with MySQL, no problem. First with one database, then with other database. It is Oracle driver, OJDBC8. OJDBC8 means Oracle. No problem. We'll test on both Oracle and MySQL. No problem. Okay. I want to okay. Compiler source and target is 11. This is ID generator. And I just want to refresh this Maven project, update the Maven project. Once it is updated, I need one folder called resources. I want a folder called resources. I want to right click and refresh or update the Maven project once again, so that we are getting src/main/resources, right? Next, I want to even copy the meta inf folder. I want to copy the meta inf folder. So in this meta inf folder, I need to change my entity class. I want to change my entity class. And I want to make my, I want to create my entity class name as demo entity. My class name is a demo entity. I'll map it with a demo table. I'm done. Now I have to write my entity class. Okay. I'm writing one entity class. One new class I am creating. Class name is demo entity. Class name is demo entity. @entity. @table. Table name equal to tbl_demo. Okay. I want a table. Table name is tbl_demo. @ID. @generated value. @generated value. I'm not passing any strategy. Private. Integer. I say ID. My variable name is ID. My variable name is ID. Private string name. ID and name. Only two variables I took. I took only two variables. ID and name. My table is containing ID column, name column. ID should be automatically generated. That's what the meaning of writing ID name. Only 2 attributes are enough. I'm not writing many attributes. Not required for me. Not required for me. Okay. Okay. So I got all the setter and getters. That's it. This is the annotation we want to test here. For the annotation we are testing @ generated value. This is the annotation. Okay, right? @ generated value is annotation. Okay, right? Let's move on. Let's go ahead. I want to write now. I want to write one class. I want to name it as a DO class or something like, because we don't require any much DO operations here. We don't want any DO operations much. Right? I'll do one thing. I'll do one thing. I'm not writing any DO class directly. I'm writing test class. Package name is com.ait.test. Directly I write the code in main method. In main method only, I want to write my code. No DAO interface and DAO IMPL class. Right. This is main. Okay. Leave it. Public static void main. String args. Now here only I want to write my code. What's the code? First I need entity manager factory. What I need? Entity manager factory. Entity manager factory. Factory equals to. So that is persistence class is there. Dot create entity manager factory of test is a name, right? Okay. Okay, no problem. This is my entity manager factory. So I have a reference variable called factory. Next, I need entity manager. I need entity manager. So entity manager. I need entity manager. Factory dot create entity manager. Create entity manager. Okay. I have entity manager. I have entity manager factory. I have entity manager. What next I need? I need to write something. I want to create one demo object. Demo entity is my entity class. So I want to create one demo entity. Demo is equal to new demo entity. Then I'm writing demo.set name. Remember, I'm not setting ID. ID is automatically generated. Only name I need to set. Name only I need to set. I'm typing the name A. Name is A. Entity transaction. Entity transaction. T is equal to em.get transaction. T dot begin. T dot begin. I want to just persist now. I no need of writing any much code. I just write no need of try, catch, finally. Just I'm writing like this now. What's the method? Em dot persist. What I want to persist the demo. Demo is object. Then T dot commit. Commit. Em dot close. Even it's a main, anyhow it's going to close. Factory dot close. Because I'm not writing any DAO class or DAO interface and class. I'm writing everything inside the main only. First, what I'm creating here? Object. But when I'm creating the object, this is the notable point here. This is the notable point here. What is the notable point here? We are not setting the ID. We are only setting the name. Because ID is automatically generated. ID is automatically generated. Sure. So let's see, really ID is getting generated automatically or not. Now we have to run this program. We need to run this code. Right. We need to run this code. We'll run. I will open my SQL developer. I don't have any table called a TBL underscore demo. I don't have that. I have no table called TBL underscore demo. Okay. I have no table called TBL underscore demo. If I say, for example, select star from TBL underscore demo, it will give me error. Because I don't have any table called TBL underscore demo. I have no table called TBL underscore demo. TBL underscore demo, right? Let's do one thing. We will run our code. Okay, we'll run our code. Let us see what are the queries generated and all. We'll discuss. Okay, right. If you look at this, first what Hibernate has done, it has created one table. What's the table name? TBL underscore demo. Created. Table is created. Okay, with the columns ID and a name. With the primary key ID. Okay. Then what Hibernate next created? Sequence. And what is the name of the sequence? Hibernate underscore sequence. Hibernate underscore sequence is a name of the sequence. Actually, look at the code. Look at the code once. Look at the code. In the code, this is my demo entity. I'm writing annotation called what? @ generated value. I'm writing. I am writing @ generated value annotation. I'm writing. But I'm not providing strategy, right? If I don't write strategy, which strategy will be used? Auto. Auto means what Hibernate do? What Hibernate will do if I write auto strategy? It will choose either identity or sequence or table. Who will take care of choosing one of them? Hibernate. Means we are telling the Hibernate what? Use one of the three strategies according to the database. Who is our database now? Oracle. Oracle is our database, right? Good. So what it is using? What it is using? Sequence. What it is using? Sequence. Using sequence. Sequence. If a database is Oracle, it will use by default sequence as a ID generation strategy. Okay. Good. Look at this. Let us see the record. Do we have the record or not? Let's see. Select star from TBL underscore demo. Let's see. Now I have a record. I have a record. What's the name here? A. ID value is what? 1. 1 is automatically generated. 1 is automatically generated. Okay. Let us run. Let us run the next. Let us go to main. Let us go to main. Let us identify. What's the name here? B. By mistake or wantedly. Even I am setting the ID also. Even I am setting the ID also. For example, ID I am setting 10101. What's the value I am setting? 10101. And name I am setting B. Now I want to run this. Let us run. Okay, let us run. Okay. You got exception. Okay, you got exception. Detached entity passed to persist, blah, blah, blah. We are getting some exception. DDL execution, non-JTA. We got some kind of exception. Persistent object exception. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, let me do one thing. I am only setting name as B without ID. Without ID, what I'm doing here? I'm just simply setting this B. That's it. Okay. And in my persistence.xml, I need to check what is the DDL auto. What's the DDL auto value? Update. That's good. Let us run this code. Now this time it is inserting now. Right. If I am setting the value, what I am getting? Exception. Why? Because ID we should not set. Who will automatically generate? Hibernate will generate. We should not set it. We should not set the ID. What Hibernate is doing? Selecting the sequence dot next val. Next val and cur val are the two special attributes that every sequence object contains. Cur val returns current value of the sequence. Next val returns next val of the sequence. Next val of the sequence. All right. There are two attributes called cur val and next val for a sequence object. So this is selecting the next value of the sequence. Then it is inserting. Then it is inserting. So we are getting the ID values 2 for B. For B, what's the ID value? 2. 2 is ID value, right? 2B, 1A. ID is 1, name is A. ID is 2, name is B. What is saying if I am setting the ID value? What it is saying if I am setting the ID value? Giving an exception. Exception. Giving an exception. Giving an exception. Right. Observe here. Okay. If I don't write, strategy is equal to. If I don't write, strategy is equal to generation type dot. Generation type dot. What are the 4 generation strategies are there? Auto, identity, sequence and table. Auto, identity, sequence and table. So what's the default value? If I don't write strategy, by default is auto. If I write auto or if I don't write strategy is equal to generation type dot auto, both are one and same. We'll test it. We'll test it. Name C. Okay, we'll run this code. Yeah. Observe here what Hibernate is doing. Observe here what Hibernate is doing again. Selecting the next value of the sequence from dual. Then inserting, right? Means what? It is selecting from the same sequence now? Right. Right. We are getting the output as what? 3C. So nothing but what you are understood here. You understood that even though I am not writing, strategy is equal to generation type dot auto. It is by default is auto. What's the default strategy? Auto. Auto is the default strategy. Auto means what? Let Hibernate choose the appropriate one based on the database. Who is my database now? Oracle. So what it is selecting? Sequence. Done. This point is done. Next one. Let us do one thing. Let us do one thing. Same example. Same example. Again, I will start from A. Same example. But I want to change to MySQL. I would like to shift or I want to change it to MySQL driver. MySQL driver, right? I want to change the driver class name first here. I want to change here. Even I want to change to JDBC colon, MySQL colon / localhost colon 3306. Test is my database. Username and password also different. My username is root, and even I gave the password also as root only. Okay. Dialect class also I need to change. It is not Oracle dialect, it is MySQL dialect. Okay. Next, I'll open pom.xml. Because in pom.xml, I need to change. What I need to change in pom.xml? I need to change the driver dependency. Which driver dependency I want to add now? MySQL connector Java. This is MySQL driver dependency. I'll add this to my pom.xml. Here I'm adding this is Oracle driver dependency, but I'm also adding MySQL driver dependency below. I'm not deleting this, but I can just keep this driver dependency. Okay. Now my example is going to connect with which database now? MySQL. Okay, let me update my project. I have updated. I'll open MySQL workbench also first. I'll open MySQL workbench. Done. Okay, use a test. Select a star from TBL_demo. You can see that I don't have any table first. I'm getting that table does not exist. No table is there with the name demo. Okay, no problem. Okay, right? So select star from TBL_demo. Next. I'll open my code. Let us run this tester code. Let's run this tester code, right? Run as a Java application. Run as a Java application. No problem. Hibernate_sequence. It is selecting the next value of the sequence and saying that it does not exist. It is creating the table. It is creating the table. It is saying that varchar blah, blah, blah. The solution for this is I need to change DDL auto values, create in place of update. For next time, I can use create. For next time, I can use update. Change the value to create. It will create. I no need to worry. Let us update my project once. So then I have to go to my test code, run this. Hibernate_sequence does not exist. It does not exist. Okay. That's a table it is saying. Hybrid sequence does not exist. It is selecting so and so for update means it is not available. It should create it actually. It should create it. Okay. Table it is creating. It is inserting into sequence. Drop the table if exist. Hibernate sequence or next one table it is creating. It is using table strategy and inserting into the sequence first. Then creating the table. Then it should insert. Select next val as ID val from so and so for update and saying that it is not exist. Don't worry. It is created within the same transaction. No problem. No problem. Just wait. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Drop table Hibernate_sequence. Drop table Hibernate_sequence. Table. Drop table Hibernate_sequence. I want to drop the table. I'll show you now. Unknown table. Hibernate_sequence. Show tables. So I have no table called Hibernate_sequence. Okay. No problem. No problem. Let me create. Look at this. Create a table. TBL underscore demo. ID int primary key auto increment. Name varchar 2 of 20. It's varchar comma primary key of ID. Table created. Let me show you. I'll change to update. Okay. It's not creating the table called Hibernate underscore sequence. Wait. I will create the table by myself with the column next underscore val. Sure. If it is not creating, I'll create now. It is not creating the table there. I am creating a table. Observe here. Observe. Create a table Hibernate underscore sequence with the column next underscore val of type int. Done. I'll tell you the process. Let us run this. It's altering the table to add the column next underscore val as a big int. Next val as ID value, but the value does not exist. Sure. Let us verify the tables first. Yeah. Insert into Hibernate underscore sequence. Values of 1. Table name so and so Hibernate underscore sequence of next value of 1. 1 minute. I got an issue, but I'm going to resolve it. Next value, next val. Okay. 1 minute. To use this, first I need to create the table by myself with the column next underscore val. In now, okay, now I got table created. I will tell you now. Let us run this code. I will tell you now. Let us run this code. First, I'll run the code, then next I'll explain. Could not execute. You need to populate the value. Table is created, but I need to insert the record. Insert into Hibernate underscore sequence value of 1. Then next time it'll update. I'm done. Now I can run. So now it is working, but there are some changes I made. I'll tell you. Okay. First, if database is MySQL, this is MySQL now. First, let me show you the output now. Let me show the output first. Select a star from tbl_demo. tbl_demo. We got the record 1A. Let me run for one more time. I want to insert one more record with the name B. Now it is executed. I got insert. Again, if I say tbl_demo, select star from tbl demo. Now I got the two records, A and B. See, if my database is MySQL, let's see. If my database is MySQL, I'm writing generation type auto. Auto means Hibernate will decide. What Hibernate is deciding? If it is Oracle database, then sequence. If it is a MySQL database, it is using table, not identity. It is using what? Table. Generation type dot table. Not identity. It is what? Table. Observe the point here. If you type identity, it will choose identity. But if you don't write generation type dot identity, what is using? Table. It's expecting one table. What's the table name? Sequence and table are looking same. What's the sequence name generated? What's the name? Hibernate_sequence. Right? In Oracle, what's the sequence generated? Hibernate_sequence. Sequence and a table are same. Sequence means sequence object created. Table means same sequence will be used as a table in the database. Means what's the table name? Hibernate_sequence. Table name Hibernate_sequence. Column next_val. What's the column name? Next_val. So means if for a generation type dot auto now, which database I'm using? MySQL. What is the strategy that Hibernate is selected to process the record? To generate the ID value? Table. Generation type dot table. Generation type dot table. So what Hibernate is expecting? One table. What's the table name? Hibernate_sequence. With a column. What's the column? Next_val. So what I should do first? I should create one table. See the table what I created. See the table what I have created. What's the table first I created? Hibernate_sequence with a column next_val. Then I have to insert one record, the first value of the table. What's the first value of the column? 1. What Hibernate will do now? Will take the first ID value as 1. Next time it will update. Increment by 1. Increment by 1. Starting value is how much? 1. If I insert the starting value 10, next time what Hibernate will do? 11, 12, it will start like that. Okay. So now, if I'm writing generation type auto, right? Then tell me first, I should create one table. What's the table name? Hibernate underscore sequence with a column, next underscore val. Then I need to insert the record with the initial value. What is the initial value of this column? 1. 1. Then who will automatically update the value of this column? Hibernate. If I select the value now, how many IDs have generated? 2. 2. If you observe it, if I observe it, select star from C. Select star from. What's the table name? Hibernate underscore sequence. Yes. When I am typing this query, you can see the output here. What is the next value? 3. Means if I insert the next record, what's the ID value next? 3. After getting this 3, it will update to 4. Who will take care of doing that? Hibernate. Hibernate. But it initially expecting this table. What's the table name? Hibernate underscore sequence with a column. What's the column name? Next underscore val. So that we need to create. And what's the initial value we need to insert? Okay, whatever you want. You want to start from 100, initial value 100. Then the next value becomes 101, increment by 1. It will automatically do that. This is called generation type auto. In Oracle it is taking sequence. In MySQL it is taking table. So what Hibernate is expecting in the database already one table. What's the table name? Hibernate underscore sequence. And what's the column? Next underscore val. And you have to insert initial value. And who will take care of updating the value? Hibernate. Next value is automatically incremented. Hibernate will take care of this. This is working with MySQL. Okay. For example, next again, let me tell you. I'll go to my application back. I want to go to my application back. Okay. And in my application, I want to change the strategy. Generation type dot identity. What I'm using? Generation type dot identity I'm using. Identity supports with MySQL. Identity supports with MySQL, but doesn't support with Oracle. It supports with MySQL. Sequence cannot be created in MySQL. Get my point up. Sequence cannot be created in MySQL, but sequence can be created in Oracle. Suppose if I'm choosing generation type dot sequence. Get my point? If I'm taking generation type dot sequence, it doesn't work for MySQL. Why? In MySQL database, sequence object cannot be created. In Oracle database, identity is not supported. What is not supported? Identity. Identity can be used only with MySQL. Sequence can be used with only Oracle. Got it right? I'll tell you now. Let us see. Since I'm connecting with MySQL, what I'm using now? Identity. Observe here. I will like to drop my tables. Who is my table? I have tbill underscore demo. Drop it. Drop table. What's the table name? tbill underscore demo. Okay. Demo. Table is dropped. Even this Hibernate underscore sequence, that table also I want to drop it. Drop table. What's the table name? Hibernate underscore sequence. Even that is also dropped. Both are dropped. Let's read all these things. Let us run my code. Again, starting from value A. I want to start from A. Here I go with A. Okay, let us run this. Okay, let us run this. Syntax error. Table underscore demo does not exist. Okay, no problem. I'll tell you. Table underscore demo does not exist means you no need to worry. I'll tell you when to write create and when to write update. Run as a Java application. It's not creating because we need auto increment column. I'll tell you. This ID with auto increment, this column we need because identity use auto increment column. It will use auto increment column. Okay, just a minute. I'll change the dialect to MySQL 8 dialect. Sometimes dialect also give problem. I'm selecting MySQL 8 dialect. Instead of MySQL dialect, I'm using MySQL 8 dialect. Done. Okay, right? Now I'm not getting an exception. It's because of dialect problem. MySQL dialect I added, MySQL 8 dialect I included, right? Sometimes dialect give an issue. It is 8 version of MySQL na? MySQL 8 dialect I included. Then I got the solution. See here. Table is created. What's the table name? TBL underscore demo. It is creating ID column as what column? Auto increment. Identity generation type uses what? Auto increment column. It will automatically increment in the database. Now see the record. Select star from. What's the table name? TBL underscore demo. See what I'm getting? 1A. Look at the query. Understand the Hibernate query. See the insert query. Insert into this table. Only what is inserted? Name only inserted. Why not ID? Identity we are using now. Which means what column it uses? Auto increment column. Automatically incremented. So it's not inserting the ID value. Only inserting the name. Right. Let us add the second one. One more record. B. Okay. Let's go. Sorry. I have changed to create now. Create means every time what will happen? New table is created, right? No problem. Don't worry. You don't worry. I will show you the output now. Yes. Because create I should use only for first time. Look at this now. Run this. It is done. Next time is B. Now see the records. Next time is C. Now see the record. Select star from TBL underscore demo. Look at this. This is automatically incrementing now. My Hibernate is only inserting what name. But what is automatically incremented? So identity means what it uses? Auto increment column. But identity can be only used with which database? Identity can be only used with MySQL, but we cannot use it with Oracle. Right. Next we'll change to Oracle back. Again, I need to change to Oracle back. Okay. Because I have to test your sequence. Identity can be tested in This can be tested in MySQL, but this we cannot test it in Oracle. Sequence can be tested in Oracle, but cannot be tested in. So I cannot write generation type dot sequence and I can't show you the output now. Right. What should I do then? I want to change to Oracle. Means what I need to change now? XML. Driver class name, URL, username, and password. Okay. Oracle driver. Observe here. Look at this again. JDBC colon Oracle thin. Okay. Then I say @localhost 1521 XE. Username system. Password tiger. Dialect class name is Oracle dialect. Okay. Already driver dependency is there. I don't need to worry. Update the Maven project once. Let us open this now. Here you need to understand. Here I need to understand. See here. Requirement is I want to choose generation type as what now? Sequence. Listen. First listen here, okay. Generation type dot sequence. Sequence we can test only with Oracle. Sequence we can test with only Oracle, but we cannot test it with MySQL, okay? Good. Okay, listen here. When I read generation type dot sequence, if I don't provide my own sequence name, Hibernate will use Hibernate underscore sequence. Hibernate underscore sequence is a sequence here, not table. If it is MySQL database, then I have to create the table. What's the table name? Hibernate underscore sequence table with a column, next underscore val, and insert one record, initial value. Later updation will be taken care by Hibernate. But I have to do that. Coming to this one. If I read a generation type dot sequence, then tell me what Hibernate will do. Hibernate will create a sequence with which name? Hibernate underscore sequence, and will get the value from that sequence, and that value will be given to the ID. That value will be set for the object. It will create the sequence, but already I have a sequence with the same name called Hibernate underscore sequence. I can drop it and I can show you now. I have already that sequence. First I'll drop it. If I don't drop it, what happens? Let the next value of the sequence. See, first I want to drop the table. Drop the table TBL underscore demo. Once after testing, you have to drop it. Drop the sequence. Drop sequence. What's the sequence name? Hibernate underscore sequence. Done. Sequence is also dropped. We got the two statements here. Table is dropped and sequence is dropped. Now let's back. Name is A, or AA is a name. AA is a name. Already Oracle driver is there in the dependency. Here I can choose update, no problem. Let us run. Let us run. Now you can see here. What Hibernate created? Table. What Hibernate created? Sequence. And then it is selecting the next value of the sequence. Then it is inserting. What auto means? You know, auto also did the same thing, na? Means what you understood? When I'm setting generation type dot auto, which strategy used by Hibernate for Oracle database? Generation type dot sequence only. What's the sequence name created? Hibernate underscore sequence. Yes. Okay. It will select the value from the sequence, then it will insert. If I'm inserting one more object, BB, will sequence is again created or sequence is already created? Sequence is available, right? It is available. It'll select the next value of the sequence, right? Now, if you look at the records, select star from TBL underscore demo. Okay, what's the ID value here? 1. What's the ID value here? 2. It is done. But my requirement is, I don't want Hibernate underscore sequence. I want to use my own sequence. See, I am creating one sequence here. Observe. First, I'll tell you. Create sequence. Okay. My underscore own underscore sequence. That's my name. My own sequence. Create sequence name. Start with 101. Start with 101. Start with 101. Increment by 4. Increment by 4. One sequence is created. What's the name? My own sequence. What Hibernate has to do? It has to take the ID values from my own sequence, not from Hibernate underscore sequence. See here. Okay, see here. If I'm writing generation type dot sequence, then tell me which sequence Hibernate is expecting in database. Hibernate is expecting a sequence called what? Hibernate underscore sequence. But my requirement is what? It should use custom sequence, my own sequence. Then I'll tell you what are the changes required. You have to add annotation called sequence generator. What's the annotation? Sequence generator. Provide a name. Any name of your choice, A, B, C, D. You can provide something of your own. ID gen, something, comma, sequence name. Tell me, what is the sequence name? My own sequence. First I need to configure. I have to configure my sequence. Allocation size. I'll tell you what is the meaning of allocation size. Allocation size is equal to 3. I'll tell you what's the meaning of allocation size 3. It is no way related to increment by or initial value or the end value, max value, min value, nothing. Allocation size no way related with your previous sequence, whatever you know. It's different. It's a different one. I'll tell you what's the difference. Next, observe here. How can I configure my sequence? Annotation. What's the annotation? Now I need to attach this generator. Okay, I have to attach this name. What's the name? ID gen. So, comma, generator is equal to ID gen. You have to link. First configure your sequence. Then attach this name as a generator. What's my generator now? ID gen. Tell me from where Hibernate is now going to take the sequence values? My own sequence. What's the starting value of my own sequence? 101. 101. Let us run this. I'll go to table. I'll go to table. First, I want to drop my table. Drop my table so that I can show you the values again from beginning. TBL underscore demo. Table or view does not exist. Very good. Demo. It is not demo. Dropped. Sure. Let's see the output now. First name AA. AA. Let us run this. inserted. But see the answer. From where it is selecting the next value? My own sequence, not from Hibernate sequence. Not from Hibernate sequence, it's from my own sequence. Okay, observe here. Select star from, what's the table name? TBL underscore demo. Demo. Now see, I think that sequence is already there. Okay, 1 minute. Selecting the next value of the sequence. I gave 101, right? Wait. Allocation size 3. Allocation size 3 means it'll show like that only. I'll tell you the reason. 1 minute. I'll set allocation size 1. I'll tell you the difference. Allocation size, just a minute. Allocation size I'll set as 1. Allocation size 1 and sequence I'll start with 101. Wait. 1 minute. 1 minute. Here, just a minute. I'll do, don't worry. Table or view does not exist. Okay, I have dropped the table, right? Demo table is dropped. TBL underscore demo. Really? Okay, no problem. Just a minute. I will drop the sequence again. I'll create. Drop sequence. My own sequence. My own sequence. I'll tell you. Drop sequence, my own sequence. Let me create the new sequence now. Create sequence. Same name I'm using, my own sequence. And start with 101. Okay, increment by 4. Increment by 4. Okay, sequence is created. Now let us run. So now it has inserted into the table TBL underscore demo. Let's see, select star from TBL underscore demo. TBL underscore demo. Okay, we got 101 AA. Next one more record will insert. BB. Okay, BB. Let us run this. Inserted. Go and check in the database. So what's the next number? 105. Starting with 101, increment by 4. So increment by 4 means 105. 105. Right. So first understand. I mean, a simple thing to understand. What's the simple thing to understand first? Let us open our entity class. In my entity class, okay. First, how to configure my own sequence? Sequence generator. If I don't configure my own sequence using sequence generator, which sequence Hibernate will create or will use? Hibernate underscore sequence. Okay. So how can I configure this sequence as a ID generator? Name. This name we will add to generator. This is a way how we can link them. This is a way to link them. We are linking them. Name equal to what? ID gen. Generator equal to what? IDgen. So add this name as a generator. Okay, that's what you have to do. What's the sequence name? My own sequence. And there is one more attribute which is definitely required. That is called what? Allocation size. If I don't give, it's going to be 50. Okay. The amount to increment by when allocating sequence numbers from the sequence. Suppose if I'm setting allocation size, 1, means first Hibernate will select value from sequence. If I'm inserting 2 records, it is no need to go to what we can say, the Hibernate to the database to select the next value. What's the increment by I written there? Increment by what I written? 4. Increment by 4 I written. If I'm writing allocation size 3, what Hibernate will do? First it will select the value from sequence. It won't go to the database again to select the next value of the sequence for 3 persist operations. Means, for example, I have 10 objects are there. I want to persist now. 10 objects, not 1 object, 10. What the allocation size I gave? 3. Means first what Hibernate will do? We'll go to database and select the sequence value. It won't go to again database select the next value of the sequence. It won't go again. After 3 objects are completed, then it will go to database select the next value of the sequence. Again after 3 objects, it will go to database and select. Means totally 10 objects I'm inserting. But how many times Hibernate is going to database to select the next value of the sequence? 3 times. 3 times or 4 times, but not 10 times. That's what the meaning of writing what? Allocation size. So allocation size tells after how many operations or after how many inserts, Hibernate should again select the value from sequence. That's what the meaning of writing what? Allocation size. What's the increment by value I gave there? 4. 4. What's the allocation size I can give max? 3. Otherwise, I'll get overlapping of the numbers. Overlapping of the numbers. For example, I'm selecting allocation size 2. What's the allocation size? 2. How many objects I want to store in the database? Say, for example, say 10 objects. How many? 10 objects. Means I want to take a for loop. Let's take a for loop. Sure, let's take a for loop. Look at this. To show you the output again, let me drop the table. Sequence same. Sequence I want to use it same. Or drop the sequence again, create a new sequence. No problem. See here. Drop table. What's the table name? tbil_demo. Look at this clearly. Next one is want to drop sequence. What's the sequence name? My own sequence. I'll tell you. I'll delete these 2 queries. Now see my query here. What's the query? My own sequence. I'll say increment by, for example, increment by 10. What I'm giving increment by 10, not 4, increment by 10. Listen. Sequence is created na? Yes. Yes. Listen here. Observe here. I'll go to my code. Tell me in this code what's the allocation size I gave? 2. What's the allocation size I can give max? Increment by 10 na? What's the allocation size I can give max? 10. If I give 20, then what happens? Hibernate will first go to database, will select the value of the sequence, For the next 20, it won't go to database select the next value, it will increment it. Overlapping of the numbers will come. 101 starting. 101 starting. If I say allocation size 20, then what? 1012, 120. 120. After it will go to Hibernate, goes to database to get the next value. What's the next value? Not 121. Increment by 10. 101 plus 10. 111. But 111 is already complete in my ID, in my table. So duplicate value not allowed. Primary key na. Primary key does not accept what? Duplicate value. What I will get now? Exception. Constraint violation. So what's the allocation size I can give max? Less than or equal to increment by value. What's my increment value there? 10. I am giving how much? 2. I can give less than or equal to. I am giving 2. Or even I can give 3 up to 10. I can give 3. Look at this. I'll go to my tester. In my tester, what I do is, I will write a for loop. I wanted this code in a for loop. See this. I'll keep this code above. Just a minute. Look at this. For int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 20, I plus plus. Tell me how many times this loop repeats? How many times? 20 times I want to repeat this. I want to repeat this how many times? 20 times I want to repeat this. See this code I want to repeat 20 times. Same name, okay, no problem. We want to see the IDs, not the names. We want to see the IDs, not the names. Tell me how many demo entities I want to persist here? 20. Because this loop repeats how many times? 20 times. 20 times it repeats. What is my allocation size? What's my allocation size? 3. What's the first value? 101. Next value? 102. Next value? 103. Next value? 111. 3 values are completed now. For the next value, it will go to database. What's the next value from sequence? 101 plus 10. 111. 112. 113. Again, next value? 121. Next value is how much now? 121. 121. Let's see that. Instead of giving 20, let us repeat it for 10 times is enough. I less than or equal to 10. 10 is enough to understand it. Okay. Let's see this. Let's see this. Okay. Allocations I give 3 only now. Even I can say, for example, 6 or 7 also enough. I less than or equal to 7. Look at this. Look at this. I want to run this now. Okay. I want to run this. I'll complete the class now. See. Observe here. How many times Hibernate is went to database for selecting the next value? 1, 2, 3. Where is 4 for sequence? How many times only? But how many objects I am persisting? My for loop 7 times repeating. My for loop 7 times repeating. But how many times it is selecting the next value? 3 times. 3 times only. Why? I gave allocation size how much now? 3. After generating how many IDs, it should again get the next value of the sequence. 3. First what? 101, 102, 103. Next. Next value is 111. 111. See the records now. See the records now. Select star from. What's the table name? TBL underscore demo. Demo. You can see the records. Those are previous records. 99, that is previous record. Observe here. Okay. Totally, how many records totally? 7 records. 7 times 7 records. But we got 99 here. And to check why it is 99. Because we are starting with 101. Okay. Yes, yes. Observe here. It is 100, sorry, 101, 199. Next time it is collecting 111, 110, 109. Reverse now. Not like 100, 101, 12. It's getting correct only. Observe here. Yeah. See, what's the first value? 100. While inserting, allocation is how much now? 3. 3 means what? 99, 100, 101. Not 101, 102, 103. What's the next value of the sequence? 111. 111. Tell me what's the 3 now? 109, 110, 111. What's the next value of the sequence? 121. But allocation size 3 na. Allocation size 3 means starts with what? 119. 119, 120, 121. Those are the next 3. Got it right? So what's the initial value of the sequence? Initial value 101. How much allocation size? 3. 3 means starting with 99, 100, 101. Then again we'll go to database. What's the next value? 111. Allocation size 3 means what? 109, 110, 111. Next value 121. What's the allocation size? 3. 3 means what? 119, 120, 121. So that is what allocation size effect for 3 records. Okay, right? Got it. Got it. So what are the ID generators that we have discussed today? One is about auto. Next one is about identity. Next one is about sequence. We did now. I'll write the points in the document. And one more is there. What is the one more? Table. Table and sequence are same. In place of sequence, if I type the table, it's going to become table. Table means it is not expecting sequence. It is expecting table with a column. What's the column name? Next underscore val. Next underscore val is a column, right? That is what expecting. Got it right? Yeah, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it tomorrow. Tomorrow only. Yeah, yesterday I gave already holiday, na? Right, good. So tomorrow only. Tomorrow means Sunday, tomorrow only. Okay? Right. Thank you. Yeah, guys. We'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow is also their class. You please attend. Tomorrow we have a class. Okay, please attend. Okay, tomorrow I'll write the notes in the document and I will share with everyone. Okay. At the same time. No change in the timing. Okay, same time.